Hello my friends, this is going to be a video about my video settings. I've got a follower who has a problem in that he's got a computer that is okay, and I don't think there's anything wrong with his setup, because he says that he's got 16 gigabytes of RAM, an RTX 3070 and an i7-10700 setup. So he knows that this doesn't cause issues, but he's got a problem that he's 45 hours into his world. He's not been playing Vintage Story very long, and he is saying that it's drawing a lot of memory. He set his settings to aggressively optimize RAM, which for now keeps his game running, but his memory while playing is always sitting at 75%. He wants to expand his world, but he said that his game keeps freezing, and I was trying to think about anything that could possibly help him. Now, on the RAM, he's got 16 gigabytes, I've got 64, so I can't really help as to whether that's a problem. I did ask about mods, and he is running Prospecting Together, Status HUD, and BetterRuins. Now, I run BetterRuins, it's not causing me any problems. I don't know Status HUD and I don't know Prospecting Together, so I've said to turn each one off and then see if the lag spikes are still there, because you never know what's actually causing it. I asked about the number of animals he has, because I do know that if you've got too many animals in one place it causes lag, but he has 4 chickens. I don't think you're going to get lag with 4 chickens. He's on 1.21.4, which should be okay. I've just upgraded to 1.21.5, but I wasn't getting lag spikes on that. I did tell him that I've not got Vintage Story sitting on my C drive. I've got it on my D drive. And I store my game saves on an external hard drive. So I'm, quite clear about that. But I said I would put a video up showing my settings, so let's do that. If we go to Escape and Settings. Now, if we look at the graphics, my view distance is 832 blocks. Now, if you've got the view distance right up here, I think that could be an issue. You can see I've got Smooth Shadow on, FXAA on, Waving Foliage on, Foam and Shiny Effect on. I have turned the bloom off. Now, if you read this, it says has notable FPS cost. So, do you have bloom on? I don't like bloom, so I've taken that off. Clouds, mine are just as normal. God rays, I've got on. This one, I've again adds ambient occlusion to fine geometry at sub-block level, giving the scene a greater sense of depth. High FPS cost. I've got mine set at max. Shadows, toggles dynamite shadows quality, has high FPS cost. I've only got my shadows at low quality. And that's something because I think it makes the game too dark. So I like a little bit of shadow, but not much. Particles, medium FPS cost, I've got it at 100%. Dynamic lights, FPS cost, I've got it at 76. Resolution, I've got it at 100%. So here you are. High resolutions yield better quality scenes, but can have a very high FPS cost. So again, all these help you with the settings. Gamma, I have at max. Dynamic color grading, yeah, I've got on. Contrast, Basically, I've just got this at 130%. I do not have sepia on, and I do not have ambient bloom on. Field of view, I've got 70%, and again, that's a medium FPS cost. Windows mode, I've got full screen. Right, max FPS. Limits the game's max FPS for smoother frame rate, even if below the maximum. Now, I've got mine at 61. I keep it at this, and I've got my VSync off. Optimize RAM, I do not have on. Occlusion culling I have on, and it said should give you a better FPS. LOD bias, I've got this at 67. That's the default. And then the Windows border I've got reusable. These are the things I think that will affect your FPS most. The mouse, I don't think will. The controls shouldn't. Accessibility shouldn't. So, you know, you can just see this. A lot of this is like this glitch strength waviness. A lot of it is to stop people being seasick and things like that. Sound, I don't think that this should affect the FPS at all. Interface, again, I don't think that should affect the FPS. Most of the things you will find that affect the FPS should be in this graphics. So that's where my settings are. I know that this guy has optimized RAM on, which I don't use. But then again, there are things here that I don't use. Bloom is the one I really don't like. I think it makes my game very jerky. I may be wrong about that. But anyway, that's just a quick guide to my settings, in case that helps with anything. It's quite difficult to get the settings right that will suit you and your computer. But as I said, this is a set that works for me. And if I ever move between computers, I take a photocopy of this. Okay, so hopefully that will have helped. Sorry to do a video on it, but I'm not a great typist, and it's easier for me to actually stand here and show you my settings and go through them than it is to type it all out. I hope that helps, and I hope you manage to solve your problems. You should be okay with that computer. Good luck, my friend. Bye-bye.